So a race should not just be, you know, a declaration that a race has occurred between those cars. It should actually do some, well, obviously some simulation. You know, a race in an actual game would be like a, you know, 2.5 minutes spent, you know, accepting inputs from players, you know, as they speed around a course, and you know, doing all the visuals and, you know, all the physics calculations and everything. You know, it'd be immensely complex. But in the case of our game, like I said, we're going to keep it really simple for now. It's up to you to make it a bit better. But we're just going to say the winner is the car with the greatest top speed. Let's have a private function within race, which is it a void function? For now, let's just keep it a void function. It doesn't return a result, but might do. We can change that later. And let's just say calculate winner. Calculate winner is just going to ask if you know, one has a higher top speed than the other, really. So if C1 dot get top speed is greater than car 2, sorry, not C1, car 1 dot get top speed is greater than car 2 dot get top speed, then the winner is, should we just go by model for now? Oops. Okay, and we have a simple else on there as well, which is the other way around. So if car 1 has a higher top speed than car 2, then the winner is car 1, else the winner is car 2. Actually, there's a third situation, isn't there? There's a draw situation. So we've got to do an else if. It's just a draw, isn't it? Okay. I don't like using void. Kind of, even when I wrote this function, I thought, no, this function should return something. It's fine for the function calculate winner to do console.writeLine, but that's not a pure function, is it? This is actually should be called display winner. Calculate winner and display winner, which is kind of annoying because it's doing two things. I would rather that it returned something and then we had a display winner function, perhaps the display of, you know, the message or the, you know, the podium or something at the end of the race being handled by a different function. So calculate winner just doing console.writeLines is kind of annoying me. What we should do really is we should maybe call it get winner. And get winner returns back a car. And the car that it returns back, if car 1's top speed is greater than car 2's top speed, then it will return car 1. Here it will return car 2. What will it return if there is a draw? That's a problem, isn't it? We can't return one or the other because that wouldn't make sense. It can be quite useful to return, to do things with the value null sometimes. Okay, so neither, basically, nothing. Null is programming for nothing, and it will, you know, I can't return this. I can't return it's a draw because that's a string, and the return type of this get winner is car, but I can return null. And, you know, to fully abstract this, I would have private void display winner. And now this is going to be simpler logic, because it's going to var winner equals get winner. Console.writeLine, the winner is winner.getModel. And then we just need one thing, a little if statement, which is if winner is null, we print it's a draw, don't we? I'm sorry, I don't even need these braces because it's literally just one console. Console.writeLine, it's a draw. Else print the model of the winner. And then all of this stuff that goes away. That goes away. This get winner is now simply a calculation followed by returning one car or the other or null. Okay, which makes this function much simpler to read. A display winner is much simpler as well. And now the race has begun. Now I can do display winner, and display winner runs get winner. Do I want that? I don't really like. See, I've talked before. I've talked a little bit about not having a function that does multiple things. So we've taken get winner and we stripped it right down to running the calculation and returning the car. Display winner should not be running get winner before displaying it. Really, display winner should be being passed a car known as winner, and then that is either, if it's null, you know, as having been calculated as null, then it will be that, or it will just display it. So now where do we actually run get winner? Well, we do this. var winner equals get winner. So our function starts the race, calculates the winner, saves the result here as winner, and then displays winner with winner in the brackets. Let's try it. Good. We don't get any feedback from the get winner. Maybe calculate winner would be a better name for it. We don't get any feedback from it. You know, I would kind of put a console.writeLine statement in there saying, you know, here Porsche has higher top speed, brackets what the top speed is compared to three-wheeler, brackets, and just to have some debugging messages in. But it would still be a good idea for me to test the program now in a few ways. So a new race has become between, obviously, the Porsche 1. Okay, let's deliberately flip that around. Let's deliberately go up here and make the three-wheeler C1 have a top speed of 300, which is the maximum allowed, and it's higher than the 290 of the Porsche as well. Three-wheeler should win now. Good. And let's make it the same. Okay, that's a situation that needs testing, isn't it? It should say there's a draw. It's a draw. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with that. I haven't tested that as well as I should, but it's good that the guy outside has just started using a circular saw as I finish this video, so I don't have to speak to you for much longer. I will set you some extensions for after all this, but basically you now have to use object-oriented programming to make a far more advanced version of racing cars, more advanced in all sorts of different ways and directions that you choose. For example, not just having a race between two cars, yeah, and having it so that your race can accept any number of cars as long as it's more than one car as arguments in the constructor, using lists, for example. Or what else could you do? Well, obviously, just testing the top speed is not very, clever. You would want to have what's the acceleration in meters per second squared of every car, if that's even the what you use to the units of acceleration that you use for cars. What is the what else? What's the weight of the car? I don't know if that's going to have any issue. There's probably tons of things that I haven't talked about in terms of what makes a car fast. Acceleration, top speed. Have more variables for your car. Yeah, have more things going on, and then run a more complex race that doesn't just compare the top speed values, but actually perhaps simulates using a while loop, for example. Every sort of tick of the race. And works out. Oh, well, this car's got better acceleration, so it's now X number of meters ahead. But then, as the top speed gets reached of any one of the cars, perhaps it overtakes again. So there's all sorts that you could do there to simulate a race, and you could try to have some visual output as well. You could have it as console output, which shows the progress of each car in the race towards the end. So tons that you could do there. And also try to make it so that the race itself can have as many cars as you want in it. If you're on a Windows PC and you're able to use Visual Studio, you could even try to make this program run as a Windows desktop application, not a console application. But because we have people with different styles of devices on this course, and I'm on a Mac, and for a start, it just doesn't work to making Windows desktop applications. You can't do it unless you're on Windows. Then I'm gonna steer clear of that for the benefit of those who are on iPads and things like that. But Windows is definitely a good operating system to have a version running of for sixth form, because we will be doing stuff in C#, and C# is essentially a Microsoft language, even though it is quite cross-platform, and also people on Macs do tend to have a little bit of an issue sometimes getting their code working, even though it's identical. If they're swapping it between Windows and Mac machines, sometimes you get little bugs. So that's all from me for now. Bye bye.